And welcome once again to Community Viewpoint. I'm John Pawlak, your host for this segment. It's another warm day in Pahrump. The warm means things are springing forward, and this is going to be a good spring compared to last spring. We're going to have a lot more outside venues happening, and we're going to be talking about one of those today. Today, we're happy to have with us Lori McCaslin.
Yeah.
Lori is well, she's Carlton's daughter, and everyone has known Carlton for god-awful 30, 40, 50 years. Carlton passed away, 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago?
The 15th of February.
Yes, so we're all missing him, and we'll be missing him for a long time. But on a brighter note, Lori and the group will be part of the Pahrump Wild West Extravaganza, and she's going to be talking to us about that venue. There's a little bit of information on it. So Lori, if you would, tell us a little bit about the Extravaganza and what's new this year. Well, everything's new about it this year.
Everything's new this year. The Extravaganza has actually been taking place for the last 19 years,
Yes.
which is hard to believe. The first about 3 years, we were in the Nugget parking lot, and Bob Baker started it off. In fact, he called it the Downtown Hoedown, and it was just hay bales and some square dancing and stuff to start off Fall Festival. But over the last 19 years, it's evolved into its own entity. And this year, what's new is we are moving the Wild West Extravaganza to the Pahrump Valley Museum grounds. We feel it's a perfect fit because the Wild West Extravaganza has always been a historical type of an event where we encourage people, and people will be encouraged this year too to dress Western. Pull out your bustles and your cowboy hats and everything, and you're encouraged to wear that down during the event festival. We're down there, all of the buildings that we've had in the past, in fact, everything we've had in the past, we're moving down to the museum to create a town. We're going to make a street down the center of the museum, and then we'll have a Western art show inside the museum. Outside, the melodrama is going to be back in the tent. The last several years that we've been at Bob Roode, we've been in Bob Roode at the park. But we originally started out as an old-fashioned melodrama inside a big tent.
And you're gonna have a tent over there?
Yeah. In fact, last Saturday we were out laying out the tent poles and stuff to refurbish that and everything. So we're going to have the big tent like we've had in the past, and people will be able to come in the tent, and they'll still be able to throw their popcorn and cheer for the hero and boo the villain, and everything else that goes with the melodrama.
So the event will be happening April 30th, May 1st, and May 2nd.
Yeah, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Okay, so the event itself and the melodrama both will be happening all 3 days, right?
Yeah, the melodrama kind of kicks off everything at Friday at 5 p.m. And Saturday, the melodrama will be at noon and 5, and then Sunday we'll also have a performance at noon. So we'll have 4 performances. Since we're at the museum and they don't have a lot of outdoor electrical lighting, this year the whole festival goes from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. And at that time of year, sunset is about 7:30. So nobody has to worry about tripping over anything in the dark.
Oh, they'll be perfect.
Yeah, perfect. And the weather will be perfect.
Yes, it will.
Yes.
And your flyer says all kinds of vendors?
Yeah, we've in the past we've had mountain men, we've had people come in and hawk, I guess you could say vintage wear, They'll bring in old-fashioned hats. We've got a lot of food vendors that visit us. What other kind of vendors have we had? Normally I'm in the tent, so I don't get to see everybody. Local crafts. Yeah. Anybody who wants to be a vendor, that's something else. Anybody who wants to be a vendor, we've got special vendor prices this year. They can call Janice. And you want me to give you her number?
Yeah, we'll put it on the bottom of the screen also. Yeah.
Okay, well, they can call Janice, and her number is 775-209-5853 for a vendor packet, and vendor packets will also be available at the museum probably within the next couple days here. So we've got, because I know that people missed everything last year. We didn't have the Wild West last year. We didn't have the Harvest Fest or anything like that. So I'm sure there's a lot of vendors out there that are just itching to get back into the swing of things. So this would be a perfect weekend for vendors to come out. We've had crafters, any of the vendors that you normally see at all of the events here. They're, I can't remember whether the blacksmith is from California or whether he's from up north, but they're bringing the blacksmith back in this year. Like we've got stated in our flyer, we're going to have the horse and burro adoption again this year. We don't get that every year, but this year they're going to bring them down, and everybody can see they'll probably have the animals in a big round pen, so you can take a look at them and stuff and pet the ponies.
So all of this, what type of a fee are you charging the people to see this?
Oh, there is no fee. The entire festival, the entire event is free. Getting into the museum is free. Going to the melodrama is free. Although, if you want to throw dollar bills at us instead of popcorn, we will not object. But the whole thing is free. We'll gladly take donations. And like I said before, one of the great melodrama traditions is throwing popcorn. So we will have plenty of popcorn to be thrown around. I know the little kids, I think that's what they look forward to the most because they don't get in trouble for throwing food. Yeah. It's a one time they get to throw stuff at somebody and it's perfectly okay. In fact, we encourage them to throw it at the villain. Yeah,
so let's show the flyer again. Pay no attention to that April 31st.
April Fools, we added a date. No, it's April 30th. Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, so this is the show times. Those are all correct, right?
Yes, yes.
Yes, no admission.
5 noon.
Yes. And then who do we have? Do we have some old timers that have been on there for a long time?
The crew that we've got now, I would say though the one who's acted with us the longest that's in the photo there is Patty Woods. She's got the big hat and she's in the back of the photo there. She was with us. She played the piano for our very first melodrama that we did, and we've been doing melodramas there for 16 years. So she was in that melodrama and she's come back to this one. The rest of them are a pretty new crew. We've had, I'd say most of them for the last 5-6 years. Our young hero, he's brand new. And then David is going to take over the part of the villain. And actually, before my dad passed on, he was kind of concerned about his rheumatoid arthritis. So he gave the role of the villain to David. So David has some pretty big shoes to fill there. And David was quite honored because Dad never gave up the villain. That was his baby.
Okay. Yes. Yeah, another person we've lost a few years ago was Frank King, who was part of that group.
Yes, Frank.
So, yes.
Frank was a hoot.
Yes. So yeah, I've been around for many years watching the performances, either here or you've played out in Tecopa.
Yeah, we played out in Tecopa several times.
Yes. Any place else besides here and there?
I think basically just here in Pahrump and Tecopa. No, we haven't gone out Death Valley.
Amargosa? No.
No. Just the two places here because we have to haul everything.
Oh, true. So where is this museum place? It's because I know well, the camera's that way. I know there's people. I know you haven't been to the museum yet. So how do you get there? You just take Basin, right?
Yeah. The address is 401 East Basin. It's across from the
Floyd's?
the drilling, the well
Yes.
drillers.
That's how we find things in Burro. It's across street from Floyd's. Not Ace. Ace isn't here anymore, but their maintenance yard. So they've been there for many years. Marilyn is the, what you say, caretaker?
Curator.
Curator, that sounds better. And caretaker's like a cemetery. All right. So one of these days, we're going, since I'm a aficionado for model railroads, the HO Railroad is almost finished. So hopefully, oh my goodness, we'll see if it's finished by the time this comes up. So I don't know. You haven't been to their room yet, have you?
Yeah, they've been working on it. In fact, some of the artists were doing some of the backdrop paintings and stuff. So I think it's pretty close to being done.
Yes, so keep your fingers crossed, because that's a beautiful little setup over there.
Yeah.
So if you want to wrap it up, because we're almost done.
Pretty much just, we want to emphasize it's an open air event. People need to come out, enjoy the fresh air, have some fun. Just doing a walkabout in the museum itself would be fun, informative. I don't know.
The flyers will be out there. We've got some posted up at the library already, and there'll be information in the PV Times on this TV station, and naturally on this show this coming weekend, Saturday and Sunday. So I want to thank you for taking time to be with us today, Laurie. And in our last half minute, I want to remind everybody there is one more fish fry that is left at the Catholic Church, and that's March 26th, which is a Friday. So after that, we don't know when you're going to be able to get the fish again. So that's a favorite for this town. So once again, thank you, Laurie.
Well, thank you for having me.
Oh, you're welcome, and thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week.